The most populous nation on Earth is not playing in the 2022 World Cup. Soccer is one of China's most popular sport, but its current world ranking is 78th. What accounts for this disastrous showing? China has become an Olympic powerhouse. Since 2000, it has consistently ranked in the top 3 in medals earned at the Summer Games, and in the top 16 at the Winter Games. But China has managed to qualify for the World Cup only once, in 2002, when it proceeded to lose all 3 of its group matches and failed to score a single goal. How can a country be so dominant in Olympic sports and so awful at soccer? China's soccer troubles are a case study in the limits of authoritarianism. When the government decided to allocate significant resources toward Olympic success, a process that included recruiting children as young as 6 years old, often separating them from their parents. In many Olympic sports, high performance is a matter of biomechanics and discipline. To be sure, neither are irrelevant to soccer, but they are not decisive, and too much discipline can actually be a handicap. Compare that archetype of authoritarian Olympism, East Germany. The country amassed a record number of medals over 2 decades. In contrast, East Germany attempted to qualify for the World Cup 9 times and managed to get in only once, in 1974. The liberal democracy of West Germany lagged well behind their East German counterparts in the Olympic medal tables, but won the World Cup in 1954, 1974, and 1990, and reached the final in 1966, 1982, and 1986. Soccer has not succumbed to central planning because the game has proved resistant to scientific analysis. We're not even sure what a player's ideal physique may be. It is a contact sport, so you would expect top players to have some heft. But 3 of the greatest players of all time are decidedly on the short side. Brazil's Pelé is 5 foot 8 inches, while Argentina's Diego Maradona and Lionel Messi are 5 foot 5 inches, and 5 foot 7 inches respectively. Training and drills do not appear to make too much of a difference. Most statistical research suggests soccer coaches have a relatively small impact on a team's success. Unlike American football, soccer is a free-flowing game of infinite, largely unpredictable variety with relatively little use for rehearsed plays. The Dutch superstar Johan Cruyff once said, "You play football with your head, and your legs are there to help you." Physical fitness and some measure of organization and structure are certainly helpful, but each player must be able to strategize on the fly, individually. This means you can certainly improve a terrible team's performance by focusing on the basics, as many of the world's weaker nations have done over the past decades, but true success depends on factors that remain elusive. President Xi Jinping of China, a passionate soccer fan, is committed to raising his country's game, with an ambitious plan that includes creating 50,000 soccer schools by 2025, up from around 5,000 in 2015. But no centralized program will create the kind of player who creatively dribbles and dances his team to victory. In fact, the more you plan and the more you dictate, the less likely you are to rise beyond mediocrity. Historically weak teams from Europe and Latin America account for most of the convergence in world soccer. Teams from Asia, North America, and Africa have not improved as quickly. The economist Stefan Szymanski and economist Melanie Krause say that is similar to the impact of regional integration on economic growth. Most nations trade more with countries near them, and similarly, national soccer teams compete most often with others in their regional confederation. The researchers believe that just as Poland benefits economically from its proximity to high-productivity countries like Germany and France, Poland's soccer players also benefit from regularly taking on Germany and France in competition. China doesn't get the same opportunities. Taking on Japan and South Korea is not the same as facing Italy and Spain. Only 8 countries have ever won the World Cup, and all of them are from either Europe or South America. Krause and Szymanski think the difficulty of breaking into soccer's elite is analogous to the middle-income trap in economics. This refers to the inability of rapidly growing economies to keep it up long enough to become high-income countries. Argentina and Indonesia are good examples. The theory is that it is easy to catch up by copying manufacturing practices, but the gains from imitation only go so far. "We think the same is happening in soccer," says Szymanski. He continues, "When most countries got started, they would sometimes lose 10 goals. It turned out not losing 10 goals wasn't that difficult. By organizing the defense, copying some of the basic skills, and improving fitness, they could even occasionally win games against much stronger teams. But once you have reached that basic level, then it becomes more difficult to improve. One way China could improve its odds of soccer success is to import great players. Chinese Super League teams have made some major investments in foreign players, spending huge amounts to bring over Brazilian stars like Hulk and Oscar. By competing with these players, Chinese national team members, all of whom play in the domestic league, will improve. Szymanski says the quality of the England squad is a result of the influx of foreign stars to England's top domestic league. The current crop of English players were able to learn from and compete with the world's best talent. China recently changed the rules of the Super League to incentivize teams to invest more in local player development and less on foreigners. Szymanski thinks this is a mistake, and he is probably right.